Season 2 of The Bad Batch is now complete, and overall I did like the season. I'm trying to decide if I liked it more than Season 1 though. There were some good episodes in both seasons, but either way, I liked Season 2. So for this video, I'm just going to briefly mention the episodes I didn't like, the episodes I was neutral about, then the episodes that I did like, and then after that I'm going to talk about things that I feel are like important to mention. So yeah, let's start with the episodes that I didn't like. So episodes 5, 10, and 13 are ones that I did not like, especially episode 5. That's the definition of filler in my opinion. I just did not like that episode at all. It just was like a waste of an episode, honestly. 10, it wasn't a bad episode, I just didn't vibe with it. I'm just putting it in the didn't like part. And 13, again, not a terrible episode. They found a new home, the Bad Batch. Not enough happened in that episode for me to like put it in neutral. So yeah, those 3 are episodes that I'm not a fan of, did not like, especially episode 5. Alright, the episodes I was neutral about were 1 through 4, 6, 9, and 11. The 2 premiere episodes, they didn't really feel like a season premiere to me. They just felt like, 2 regular episodes. It was pretty interesting to see Rampart kill that clone at the end of episode 2. I thought that was setting him up to be like more evil throughout the season. And it was cool to see Dooku's castle again and that guy that they talked to in the second episode. Episode 3 was the first Crosshair episode with Commander Cody's return. Good to see Cody again in new canon media, because he's barely in anything these days, or even old days, especially like the later seasons of Clone Wars. But yeah, so it was good to see him again, even though he left at the end of that episode. Not talking about the team, Crosshair is my favorite character in Bad Batch, so it's always nice when he has an episode to himself, or just when he's in an episode in general. Episode 6, the episode with Gunji and Kashyyyk, that was a pretty decent episode, but I didn't feel it was good enough to put it in the episodes I liked, so I'm just neutral about it. It was interesting to see like the ideas that they had for that abandoned Clone Wars arc that they couldn't do on Kashyyyk with Yoda and the Bad Batch. Like I can see that elements of that were included in that episode of Bad Batch, so pretty interesting, learning more culture about Kashyyyk and everything, and Wookiees. Episode 9 was quite a slow episode for me, but I'm putting it in neutral because of the development that it gave Tech at the end in his conversation with Omega, confirming, because it's kind of obvious, but confirming that Tech is kind of like neurodivergent, and I relate to him a lot, and that like, I always liked Tech, but that signified him as, at the time, unfortunately, my favorite member of the team. Not counting Echo, like the original team members of the Bad Batch, Tech would be my favorite. And then episode 11, the Zillo Beast episode, setting up Palpatine's cloning and stuff. I always wondered if we were gonna like see the Zillo Beast again or get any mentions of that after that duology in season 2 of Clone Wars, and we finally did. Alright, now the 5 episodes that I can say that I truly liked and even maybe loved were 7, 8, and the last 3, 14, 15, and 16. Especially 7 and 8. I think those 2 are the best episodes of the Bad Batch overall across both seasons. 7 and 8 are definitely the best. It's interesting, I think I even like 7 more than 8 a little bit. And it's interesting that the episode without any members of the Bad Batch is the best one of the season. An overall show, in my opinion. I never really thought I would like be into like the political stuff of Star Wars that much, but those 2 episodes, there's just something about them. They were just like special. And seeing that clone assassin at the end like commit suicide pretty much, that was crazy. I was not expecting that. And I'm glad that we got more with Senator Chuchi. She had a few appearances here and there in the Clone Wars, but it's good to see more of her. She's getting more screen time and stuff. And the final 3 episodes I really enjoyed. I don't want to like say too much about it right now because I have like a lot of moments from that for the things to note. And I just realized that I didn't include episode 12. That one's gonna be in liked or loved. Another Crosshair episode. He killed his commander. Crosshair is such an interesting character to me. I don't know, like that was a good episode. I like 12 more than 3 for the Crosshair episodes. It just like sucks seeing how the clones are so mistreated by the Empire, and if they like question everything because of how they're treated, they get imprisoned or killed, and it's just like, it's not right. Like, rip Mayday. And I'm glad Crosshair killed that commander or lieutenant. He was so annoying. As As I mentioned, 7 and 8 best episodes of the season and probably even show. So like Padme was so vocal during her time in the Senate before she passed. And like every single Senate scene in these 2 episodes, it just felt like so empty without her voice. Senator Chuchi, she's a good character to fill in Padme's roles. And we got our appearance by Palpatine, which, you know, it's nice to see him. He's always one step ahead in this chess game. And yeah, I mentioned it was good to see Cody again. Hopefully he comes back maybe next season. I want to see him and Rex interact again. That would be interesting to see. And Fee, very boring character in my opinion. She was in the worst episode of the season and series overall. Sid's betrayal, even without episode 4, I felt like it was going to happen eventually. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I kind of felt like she would betray them at some point because she's always using them for missions. She doesn't really help them much. At some point it was gonna happen, and you know, episode 4 enforced that, but otherwise you don't really even need to watch episode 4. I mean, if you want to see more Tech development, I know Tech is my favorite character, but like, or my favorite Bad Batch member, but episode 9 did more for his character than episode 4 did. And yeah, all my homies hate Sid. Hemlock is a pretty interesting villain, more substance to him than Rampart. Hemlock is so creepy, but like an intense creepy that keeps you on the edge of your seat to see what he's gonna do next. And Amiri Carr's a clone. Kind of had a feeling because of her accent, that New Zealand sounding accent. It would have been like so obvious if she shared the same voice actress as Omega, but even without the same voice actress, she still had that like New Zealand accent that made me think, I wonder if she's a clone. And lo and behold, she's Omega's sister. I'll be interested to see what's going on with that next season. Crosshair, I've already talked a lot about him in this video. Favorite character overall in this series. He was only in 4 episodes though this season. That is not enough time for my boy Crosshair. And in one of those episodes he was unconscious, so really 3 episodes. He needs more screen time. Hopefully he gets that next season, because even in season 1 he wasn't in half the season, and then he's only in like a 4th of this season. That is not enough. More screen time for Crosshair next season, please. Hopefully he doesn't die though. I would be very sad and upset if they killed him after only being in like 12 episodes out of 32 episodes. Alright, time for the last thing to note. I was saving it for last because I feel like it's the most important thing, and that is the fall of our boy Tech. Very upsetting, man. After developing him all season, after not getting a lot of focus last season, they kill him off in the end. I mean, I had a prediction of who would die in the finale. I thought it could have been like Hunter or Crosshair or Tech and a little bit of Echo even, but then he disappeared for most of the second half, so I was like, he's probably safe. And Crosshair barely being in this season made me feel like he was safe, so then it was between Hunter and Tech, and it was Tech. He showed so much bravery, like he sacrificed himself for the group. You know, like every time somebody sacrifices themselves in this Star Wars universe, it's kind of heartbreaking because every sacrifice is to stop Palpatine, who's like ruined everyone's lives. Like a lot of deaths you can trace back to him because it's always his plan that people are fighting against and his forces that are killing the good guys. And now in canon, he survives his first death, which makes it even worse in my opinion. So many deaths were for nothing because he survived the first time. And who knows if he's really gone this time, because no one's ever really gone. The first thought that came up in my head when Tech was falling to his death was like, no body, not dead. But then Hemlock threw the goggles at Hunter, and I was like, you know, maybe he is dead. And while I don't want Tech to be dead, I wish it wasn't him, I feel like he should stay dead because it makes the show finally have some stakes. Like if every main character never dies, then like what's the point? There's no stakes in the show. But we finally got a main character death, so put some stakes back up in it. I feel like there's gonna be another death next season. Hunter, Crosshair, Echo, those are my guesses. But yeah, rest in peace my homie Tech. You are gone but will never be forgotten. And yeah, hopefully next season the team rescues Omega. They should get like every single clone that was thrown away by the Empire, go to Mount Tantus and rescue Omega and Crosshair. So yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions about season 2 of Star Wars The Bad Batch. As I said in the beginning, overall I liked the season. Had some bangers, some episodes, only 3 episodes I didn't like, and you know, a lot I'm neutral about. If I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it, I don't know, maybe 6.5 or 7 out of 10, which is more than I would give for season 1, because season 1 felt like a lot of filler. So yeah, I think I can say I like season 2 better than season 1. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of season 2 Bad Batch, who your favorite characters were, least favorite episodes, all that stuff. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.